Chapter 1. The Foundation. Understanding love as a choice. Let's start with something most people never consider. Love is not just a feeling, it's a decision. Feelings come and go, but the commitment to love someone, that's a conscious daily choice. In the honeymoon phase, everything feels effortless. But real love begins when the butterflies settle and the real person emerges. With flaws, fears, and baggage. The secret to lasting connection? Choosing to love every day, especially when it's not easy. Healthy relationships are built on the understanding that love isn't passive, it's active. You don't fall in love and hope you land softly. You work for love. You show up even when you're tired, frustrated, or misunderstood. You communicate when you'd rather shut down. You listen when your ego screams to talk. That's how love transforms from something fleeting into something powerful and enduring. Choosing love daily is like tending a garden. You don't just plant the seed and walk away. You water it, you pull weeds, you protect it from harsh weather. And sometimes you wait patiently while nothing seems to bloom. Relationships require the same consistency and care. Some days it's easy, some days it's hard, but every day is an opportunity to choose again. This mindset changes everything. Instead of asking, am I still in love? You begin asking, how can I love better today? It shifts your energy from passivity to purpose. Love is no longer something that just happens to you. It's something you cultivate. And in that shift lies the true secret to a lasting, meaningful relationship. It's not about never having doubts or difficult seasons. It's about holding hands through them. It's about saying, I'm not going anywhere, even when the road is tough. Love, at its core, is about showing up. Day after day, moment after moment, with intention, with grace, with the quiet strength that says, I choose you again and again. Let's go even deeper. When we think of love as a choice, it means understanding that your partner is not responsible for keeping your love alive. You are. It means loving them even on the days they don't seem lovable, on the days when their flaws are loud, their temper is short, and their walls are high. Real love says, even now, I choose you. That choice has the power to soften even the hardest moments, because it reminds both people that love isn't a transaction, it's a gift. And gifts are given, not earned. That's the kind of love that builds legacy, the kind of love that holds up under pressure, the kind that says, I don't just love who you are today, I love who you're becoming. And I'll walk with you, grow with you, and choose you all along the way. If you want a relationship that endures, start here. See love as a decision. A choice you make moment by moment, not based on conditions, but grounded in commitment. This is the soil from which strong, beautiful, lifelong love grows. Chapter 2, Speak Their Language. Emotional communication. Every person gives and receives love differently. Some feel loved through words. Others crave time, affection, service, or gifts. The magic of a great relationship happens when you stop speaking only in your language and learn your partner's. You don't pour water on a plant that thrives on sunlight. Similarly, you don't speak love in a way that doesn't nourish your partner. Understanding emotional communication means recognizing that your partner's needs may be different from yours, and that's not a problem. It's a path to deeper intimacy. If they need quality time, no amount of expensive gifts will replace your presence. If they thrive on affirming words, silence will echo louder than you think. Love fluency means becoming bilingual, fluent in both your language and theirs. Many couples drift apart not because they stop loving each other, but because they stopped speaking in ways the other could feel. You might be doing everything you know how, but if it's not in their language, it won't land. It won't feel like love to them. And over time, that creates distance. So how do you learn their language? You observe. You ask, you pay attention, you notice what lights them up, what shuts them down. You listen not just to what they say, but to what they value. And then you show up with intention. You give them love in the way they receive it best. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about becoming more attuned, more responsive, more emotionally generous. When you start speaking in their love language, you're not just improving communication. You're saying, I see you, I value you, I want to love you well. Learning your partner's emotional language also means recognizing their efforts to communicate with you. Maybe their way of saying, I love you, is fixing things around the house or making your coffee just right. Maybe they aren't expressive with words, but they show up every time you need them. These actions are love, even if they speak in a different dialect than yours. It's important to remember that no language is better than another. They're just different. And when you honor your partner's language, you tell them, you matter to me, your needs matter. I want to understand you more deeply. Make space for conversations about what makes each of you feel appreciated. Maybe it's a note on the mirror, a long hug before bed, or uninterrupted time together on Sundays. Make those moments a regular part of your rhythm. Let love be something that lives in your daily interactions, not just grand occasions. At its core, emotional communication is about building a bridge between two different worlds. It's about learning each other's terrain and walking across with care. The more fluent you become in your partner's emotional language, the stronger your bond will grow, because when love is clearly spoken, it is deeply felt. And that's the kind of connection that lasts a lifetime. Chapter 3, Conflict is inevitable. Fight to heal, not win. Conflict is not the enemy of love. Silence is. Avoiding disagreements doesn't mean your relationship is strong. It often means one or both of you are afraid to speak your truth. The healthiest relationships aren't the ones without arguments. They're the ones where disagreements lead to deeper understanding, not deeper wounds. Let's be real. When two people with different experiences, triggers, and needs come together, tension is inevitable. But what separates thriving couples from struggling ones is how they handle that tension. Do they pause before reacting? Do they aim to understand rather than dominate? Do they come from a place of curiosity rather than criticism? Most of us weren't taught how to fight fair. We were taught to win, to defend, to shut down, or to shout. But in love, winning an argument means both people walk away feeling heard, not one person walking away victorious while the other feels crushed. Healthy conflict is collaborative. It says, let's solve this together, instead of, I need to prove I'm right. The key is learning how to manage your emotions in the heat of the moment. Take a breath, step away if you need to, return when you're calm. Say things like, I'm feeling overwhelmed, but I want to work through this. Or, I know we see this differently, but I care about finding common ground. Ask yourself during conflict, what is the pain beneath the anger? What is the fear beneath the frustration? What am I truly asking for? And then flip the perspective. What might they be asking for? Maybe it's reassurance. Maybe it's validation. Maybe it's simply space to be human. Never use your partner's insecurities or past as a weapon. Don't dig up old arguments like ammunition. Address what's happening now with maturity and compassion. And remember, your goal is to protect the connection, not to tear each other down. Apologize when you're wrong, even when it's hard, even when it hurts your pride. A heartfelt "I'm sorry" can be a bridge back to love, and when your partner apologizes, receive it with grace. Don't keep score or hold it over their head. Conflict can be the furnace that refines your relationship or the fire that burns it down. Choose to use it as a tool for healing. Every argument, if handled with care, can bring you closer. It can teach you more about each other. It can remind you what matters most. Real love doesn't avoid tension. It leans in, listens closely, and fights for peace, not power. That's how you create a bond that grows stronger with each storm you weather together. Chapter 4, The Art of Listening. Hear what they're not saying. Listening is more than being quiet while someone talks. It's an act of love, presence, and humility. It means stepping outside your own experience long enough to truly step into someone else's. In relationships, this kind of listening is gold and far too rare. Most people listen to respond. Real listeners listen to understand. They notice not just the words, but the tone, the pauses, the sighs, the energy behind the message. They ask follow-up questions, they check in, they say, tell me more about that. Or, I hear you. That makes sense. When someone feels truly heard, they soften. Their guard comes down. They feel safe to be vulnerable. And that emotional safety is what builds unshakable trust. Try this. The next time your partner is sharing something emotional, resist the urge to fix it. Just be there. Let them unload. Nod. Hold their hand. Mirror back what they're saying. Say, that sounds really hard. or thank you for sharing that with me. These simple responses tell your partner, you're not alone, I'm here. Listening is also about remembering the little details they share in passing, their worries about work, their dream vacation, their favorite childhood snack. Those are the puzzle pieces of their inner world. Show them you were listening by following up later. Hey, how did your meeting go? Or, I got you that snack you mentioned, just because. Sometimes what they're saying isn't verbal at all. A withdrawn mood, a change in tone, a subtle shift in energy. Great listeners sense those things and gently open space for them to be shared. You seem quiet. Is everything okay? Or, I noticed you were distant earlier. Want to talk about it? Listening is a daily practice. It takes discipline, especially in our distracted, fast-paced lives. But when you slow down enough to truly listen, without interrupting, judging, or turning the spotlight back on yourself, you give your partner a priceless gift. You say, with your presence, you matter. Your inner world matters, and I am paying attention. When both partners commit to listening deeply, even the hard conversations become softer. Misunderstandings shrink, empathy grows, and the relationship becomes a place where each person can fully exhale, knowing they are seen, heard, and loved. Chapter 5, Build Daily Rituals, the Power of Consistency. Love doesn't flourish on occasion. It thrives in rhythm, in the quiet, predictable patterns that anchor us to each other. Daily rituals might seem small, but they form the heartbeat of a relationship. Think of them as love on autopilot, a good morning kiss, a shared cup of tea, a nightly check-in. These are the seemingly mundane habits that become sacred over time. Why do rituals matter so much? Because they create emotional security. In a world that's constantly changing, they offer stability. They say, I see you. I'm here. We're in this together. When life gets chaotic, deadlines, dishes, disagreements, rituals remind you that your relationship has a rhythm, a pulse, a place of return. Don't wait for anniversaries or vacations to reconnect. Connection should be a daily habit, not a rare luxury. Create space each day, even 5 or 10 minutes, to focus solely on each other. Maybe it's a walk around the block, a shared playlist during dinner prep, or simply lying in bed asking, what's one good thing that happened today? Rituals don't have to be elaborate. In fact, the simpler they are, the more sustainable they become. The power is in the consistency, not the extravagance. Over time, they build a sense of us, a shared world made of moments, routines, and rhythms only the two of you understand. They're also your best defense against disconnection. When stress creeps in or schedules pull you apart, rituals keep the bridge between you intact. They create opportunities to check in emotionally before problems pile up. They offer space to laugh, to decompress, to be fully present. Design your rituals intentionally. Ask, what do we both need more of, and how can we create space for that regularly? Protect these moments like appointments. Prioritize them as non-negotiable. Because in the long run, a strong relationship isn't built on occasional fireworks. It's built on the daily glow of intentional togetherness. Chapter 6, Respect over Romance. The true glue. Romance is wonderful. It adds sparkle, excitement, and emotional color. But the real glue of a lasting relationship is respect. Without it, even the most passionate romance will crumble under the weight of unresolved hurt. Respect is the quiet strength beneath the surface. The way you speak, listen, and honor each other. Respect starts with how you speak to one another. Are your words laced with kindness or sarcasm? Do you cut each other off or listen patiently? Respect means treating your partner as someone inherently worthy of care, not just when they're pleasing you, but especially when they're not. It also shows in how you handle conflict. Do you aim to understand or just to be heard? Do you attack or approach gently? Respectful communication is rooted in curiosity. Help me understand where you're coming from, rather than you're wrong and I'm right. Respect is treating your partner's needs with value, even if you don't share them. Maybe they need more rest, more quiet, more space. Maybe their priorities shift from yours. Respect doesn't say, you should be more like me. It says, I honor that you're different, and I'm here to meet you where you are. It's also in the little things, saying thank you for everyday tasks. giving credit when it's due, celebrating their successes, defending them when they're not in the room. Respect isn't dramatic, but it is deeply felt. Romance can light the fire, but respect keeps the home warm. When you lead with respect, your partner feels safe to express, to be vulnerable, to grow, and that's what keeps a relationship not just alive, but deeply fulfilling. Chapter 7, keep growing. Evolve together, not apart. We're not meant to stay the same, and that's a beautiful thing. The person you were when you first met your partner, that was just the beginning. Life shapes us, experiences change us, dreams evolve, and in a strong relationship, growth is not a threat, and it's the goal. Too often, people panic when their partner begins to change, but the truth is, expecting someone to stay frozen in time is unrealistic and unfair. We all have layers. We all discover new passions, new paths, new ways of seeing the world. So the real question isn't, will we change? It's, can we grow side by side? Make it a habit to be curious about each other. Ask questions like, what's something you've been thinking about lately? Or, is there something new you want to try this year? Don't assume you already know everything about them. Stay fascinated. Relearn your partner again and again. Support each other's evolution, not just in words, but in action. Cheer them on when they chase something new. Be their sounding board, their safety net, their reminder that it's okay to become someone new, because you're still rooting for them. Celebrate growth as a team, set goals together, take classes together, try new experiences together, make it a shared adventure. Whether it's a small shift or a major leap, honor the courage it takes to grow and keep choosing each other along the way. The biggest danger to any relationship isn't change, it's stagnation. The moment you stop learning, stop asking, stop evolving, that's when connection starts to fade. So keep growing, keep showing up with fresh eyes. Fall in love again and again with who your partner is becoming, and let them fall in love with the evolving you. Because a relationship that grows lasts. Chapter 8, intimacy is more than touch. It's emotional safety. When we hear the word intimacy, we often jump straight to the physical. And yes, physical closeness is meaningful. It matters. But real intimacy, the kind that makes love last, goes far deeper than that. True intimacy is being emotionally naked. It's being seen fully and with all your flaws, fears, and dreams, and still being embraced. It's trusting that you won't be judged when you drop the mask, that you're safe to be you, completely. That kind of connection doesn't happen overnight. It's built moment by moment, through honest conversations, through quiet support, through showing up, especially when it's hard. Emotional intimacy grows in the space between I'm fine and actually I'm struggling right now. It thrives when both people feel safe enough to be real, even when real is messy. That safety doesn't come from perfection. It comes from consistency, from knowing that even when you mess up, your partner still sees you as worthy, from being able to say, this is how I really feel, and not worrying that it'll push them away. One powerful way to deepen emotional connection, regular emotional check-ins. Ask, how's your heart? Or what's been weighing on you? Go beyond the surface. Create a space where vulnerability feels welcomed, not risky. And don't underestimate the power of the little things. Holding space when they cry, listening without fixing, remembering the details they shared in passing, sending a message just to say, I'm thinking of you. These things say, you matter. You're safe with me. When emotional safety is strong, physical closeness becomes even more meaningful because it's rooted in trust, in love, in connection that goes deeper than desire. It's not about performance, as it's about presence. So build intimacy from the inside out. Choose emotional safety, choose openness, choose each other, right? Not just with your hands, but with your heart. Chapter 9, forgiveness, letting go to move forward. In any real relationship, mistakes will happen. Words will be spoken in frustration. Boundaries might be crossed, promises may be broken, but what determines the strength of a relationship isn't how perfect it is. It's how well it heals. Forgiveness is a choice, a conscious decision to say, I won't let this pain define us. It's not about pretending nothing happened. It's not about excusing hurtful behavior. It's about release. for the sake of peace, for the sake of progress. Holding on to resentment feels powerful in the moment, but over time, it poisons everything. It builds walls, it creates distance, it keeps wounds open long after the moment has passed. The longer we hold onto a grudge, the more it becomes a prison, one we build for ourselves. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing growth over grudges. It means looking your partner in the eye and saying, I see your effort. I feel your remorse. And I believe in our future more than I'm invested in my anger. To move forward, both people need to show up. The one who hurt must own it. No defensiveness, no excuses. Just honesty, empathy, and a real desire to make things right.